Donald Schoen in 1983 coined the term reflective practice in his book, The Reflective Practitioner. And since then, reflective practice has been adopted in a wide range of professions worldwide. However, a number of critiques have also developed since then, and what we need to do is consider the drawbacks of reflective practice. The key principles in relation to reflective practice and the drawbacks associated with it are around its lack of conceptual clarity, that there is too much focus on the individual as a reflective practitioner, that there is a failure to acknowledge the discussions, the dialogues, the discourses around reflective practice and teaching, and also that there's a failure to understand the complexities involved in teaching in the classroom. Let's look at each of these in turn. The lack of conceptual clarity. What is reflective practice? Indeed, what is reflection? This is a question that everybody would answer differently, uniquely. Van Manen, for example, says the notion of reflection is changing and may refer to a complex array of cognitively and even philosophically distinct approaches and attitudes. Bleakley in 1999 wrote that reflective practice is becoming a catch-all phrase used for something which is very ill-defined. Different authors therefore frame reflective practice and its applications differently, emphasizing one aspect over another. Similarly, in practice theory is interpreted and applied in many different ways within different institutions and between professionals. This all leads to a lot of confusion. Consequently, the concept of reflective practice is elusive, it's ill-defined, it's open to multiple interpretations, and it is applied in a wide variety of ways in different practice environments. Focus on the individual is another critique. The theory places too much emphasis on the individual teacher. For example, Sandywell wrote that reflective practice limits what the teacher sees as the other in the classroom, the wider community, the student. And as such, the student is excluded from the process, the action of reflection. He describes reflective practice as inner contemplation conducted in isolation. In Sandywell's view, therefore, there's an emphasis on individual reflection which fails to consider the accounts of others, students in particular, within the community and within the process that reflection occurs. Taylor and White in 2000 note that reflective practice opens up uncertain and ambiguous and complex worlds and tends to close them down again, obscuring students' perspectives, trying to freeze knowledge in a moment in time. Schoen's theory does not acknowledge the problematic nature of language and discourse, therefore, within practice environments. Discourses in practice is another critique. Reflective practice is seen as something which ignores discussion and theory and is used to construct meaning from an individualistic perspective. Lowther draws attention to the language which we use as teachers and how we frame reflective practice. When such an understanding of language is applied to practice, this raises the question of who frames the questions. There is a danger, therefore, of treating those with whom we are reflecting, our students, as objects or things rather than people. Without a proper consideration of human encounters, we are therefore in a danger of confronting others as things and to objectify and manipulate rather than accurately reflect.